Alright, so this is our first video of the semester. Basically, I will be just making these videos of me going through the worksheets. This is just in case if you missed the activity for the day, you can still look back on what we did. And also, if you did the worksheet and didn't have time to check your answers, this is also an opportunity to do that. You can also watch this video once it gets closer to midterms and finals. As a piece of review. So we're going to start out with our activity 1. Number 1, we're just solving for A for this one. So we're just going to take the steps of getting A by itself. We can do that by adding 11 to both sides here. By doing that, leaves 5A by itself, and we have negative 45. Then we would divide both sides by 5. Again, we want A out alone. Then we have negative 9. So negative 9 is our answer, and you can always check it. But I don't have much time to go back and check it for these videos, so yeah. Number 2. So this one, we want, again, try to get all the x's on one side and the numbers on the other. We can do this by subtracting 2. I'm going to do this in 2 steps. You can always do it in 1 if you can keep track of that, but I just sometimes want to do it this way so we don't lose anything in the move of the numbers. Then we have 5x on the left. Then let's get that 20 by itself. We take away 3x from both sides. That leaves us 2x equals 20. And to get the x by itself, we divide by 2. And x equals 10. Like I said, you are welcome to go back and check whatever makes it easier, but I do know that the answer is 10. Number 3, this is a problem where you want to distribute your stuff in the parentheses, right? So we're going to move this to 3. We have 3 times 2, the first one, which is 6x, right? Or 3 times 2x. And then we have a 3 times negative 2. So I'm going to kind of make that of times negative 2. That gives a negative 6, right? Equals 24. We want that 6x by itself. So let's add 6 to both sides. That leaves us 30 and 6x. And to get that x by itself, we were going to divide by 6 on both sides. And x equals 5. Alright, number 4. Again, this is the one where you want to get everything in your parentheses out of them or finish. So this is being multiplied. So negative 4 times 2x is negative 8x, right? Plus negative 4 times 4, which is negative 16, plus 4x plus 3 equals 19. Now, if you're able to simplify that left side in 1 step, that's perfectly okay. I'm just going to do it in 2 steps so we see what we're doing. We're going to combine like terms here. So negative 8x plus 4x. And then we have negative 16 plus 3. So we have our negative 16 plus 3 equals 19. Don't forget that side. Then simplify this one more. This leaves you negative 4x minus, so negative 16 plus 3 is negative 13 or minus 13. Add 13 to both sides. That gets us 32, right? And negative 4x on that side. Divide by negative 4 on both sides, right? And we have x equals negative 8. Alright, so number 5. Still, we're solving for that x. A key thing here, what we wanted to realize was when you're subtracting what's in the parentheses, you're actually adding the opposites, right? So this is the same thing as 8x minus whatever was in the parentheses. We have 8x plus negative 6x plus 10. Then we simplify that again. leaves us 2x, right? Plus 10. Subtract 10 from both sides. That leaves us negative 20 equals 2x. Divided by 2, both sides. Negative 10 equals x. So for that one, a key thing is realizing when you're doing these operations here, this is the same thing as this. So we're just kind of moving it around. All right. Number 6. Caleb wants to ride his bike 43.2 miles this week. He has already ridden 12 miles. If he rides for 4 more days, write and solve an equation which can be used to determine x, the average number of miles he would have had to ride each day to meet his goal. So we know his goal, right, is 43.2 miles, right? So he needs to get to there. He's already ridden the 12 miles. I'll get rid of the miles after we figure out the equation. And we're going to add 4 more days of some amount. That's where this x comes in. The amount of miles. So let's get rid of those miles. So this is the equation we are working with to solve how many miles per day he will be going, right? So by that, we subtract 12 from both sides. Leaves us 31.2 equals 4x. Divide by 4, right, on both sides. X is 7.8. So that means he will be needing to ride 7.8 miles per day. Now you can leave your answer as either x equals 7.8, or you can add on and put 7.8 miles per day. That is kind of just to show. A key thing also, remember, it says write and solve. So we wrote our equation, and then we solved down here. All right, so our final problem is number 7. Members of a baseball team raised $2,007.50 to go to a tournament. They rented a bus for $1,191.50 and budgeted $68 per player for meals. Write and solve an equation. So here's that key thing, write and solve an equation which can be used to determine x, which x here is the number of players the team can bring to the tournament. So let's start with our big number, right? They raised this amount. Now, it says they've already used this much, right? They've used this much. This is an add-on to their price. They have to pay for their bus and their players, which is why we are doing how many players are X, $68 per player. That is the equation we get here. Now to solve it, we need to subtract our $1,191.50 from both sides, which leaves us with 68 times x, and through that math we should get 2007.5 minus 119.1.5. Yep, so I get this 816, and when we divide both sides by 68, we get x equals 12. All right, so that is all the answers for activity 1.